Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be starting my tournament review series where I will be reviewing my 4 games from the 6th Lake Erie Go Tournament. Now, if you don't know what that tournament is, of course it's the 6th one we've had. It's a tournament that I created in 2017 because there wasn't enough tournaments in Ohio, so I wanted to make my own. It started out as a non-AGA tournament, but then I think since the 4th one, it's been AGA rated. So it's an AGA rated 4-round tournament. 2 divisions, Q division and Don division. Time settings for each game is 30 minutes main time with 5 30-second Byoyomi. And Q and Don division are both handicapped. So yeah, this is why it's a 5-stone game. Since I'll be reviewing my games, I won't talk about the results of the tournament yet. You will get that probably on the last video that I do, or for the last round of the tournament. But it went well. It was a good event. 19 players came, which is pretty good for Ohio, I would say. Since it is a tournament that I run, so I also set up the tournament. I also run the tournament, I direct the tournament, I clean up the tournament, but I also participate in the tournament, so it's a very busy day for me. And if you've noticed a lack of uploads, I'm supposed to have a video up yesterday, I believe, or the day before that. It's been kind of lazy, kind of on the back pedal since the tournament, just kind of relaxing. But I am here now, and I'm going to review my first round game. Now, my opponent, Devin Fraze, is a prominent member not only in the Go, or in the Ohio Go scene, but also in the U.S. Go scene. He's the Columbus Go Club president, among other things. And yeah, he's one of my good buddies. I've known him for a long time. We actually played in the last tournament as well, in the first round, which I thought was pretty funny. We use a computer system to pair for each round. But yeah, so first game of the day, starting at like around 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:20, I believe. Let's get into it. Pretty standard opening. This is, if black does this is my favorite opening to do as white, as I approach the three corners and then get a 3-3 invasion. Kind of following the fine art way of thinking, thinking that this exchange here in the corners is a good exchange and just to leave it. But then, of course, I always want to get 1-3-3 in every handicap game. That's another one of my philosophies. Black blocks. Doesn't really matter which side black blocks. If black blocks this way, this is also playable. Maybe something like this. Maybe kick first. This is, of course, also playable. So nowadays, it really doesn't matter which way you block, as long as you extend or do the jump here. That's all that matters. White dives, and then black plays this move, which is, it's not a bad move at all, but I think it's a little questionable this early on, depending on how black handles the situation. Now, the point of extending up like this and white diving is that you're trying to look for sente as black. So let's say black starts to ignore. You can see that even if white gets a ton of moves towards the top, this group here can still pretty easily run out, even though white gets all these moves. So blacks should treat these 3 stones in the corner flexible. Should treat them flexibly. So that's the point of this, is for black to get sente. So, of course, but blacks can go here. Now, when white pushes and cuts, of course, this is going to be a local fight. And because white has the stone here, that's why I kind of don't really like it as much for black, because even though, of course, this fight is okay for black, it could get complicated. Ish. Could get complicated-ish. And we're, what, 20 moves in? Black shouldn't really try to start a fight immediately, especially when the fight is unneeded, right? Like, there's no reason for Black to play this shoulder hit. If Black wanted to reduce the left side, Black should play this attachment. Kind of ask White what White wants to do. So, no reason to do this. Now, in the game, Black actually extends up once. Which, do you think it's a good move? Do you think it's a bad move? I'll let you think about it for a second. It is not so good because when White cuts, these two stones are actually just as weak as the one stone here. Probably even less weak. Or probably even more weak than this stone because they're heavier. But notice, when White cuts here, not only is White cutting these stones off, this one stone here has two liberties. So this stone is weak, plus these three stones are also weak. Whereas when Black just blocks, notice on this side, it's kind of the same, but on this side, Black is super strong. Whereas when Black extends up once, and then White cuts here, not only is this side weak for Black, but the upper side is also weak for Black. Which means White only has to worry about one cutting stone, whereas Black has to worry about both sides, because White is already alive in the corner. So, if you're going to play this shoulder hit, make sure you block solidly. White cuts, Black hanes, and then extends. Yeah, I agree. Black really wants to add a stone here, but I'm not sure if Black has time. It's pretty... let's go there, even if White goes again. It could be not so pretty for Black. And White doesn't even need to do that. White can do something more aggressive, like this. So, yeah, Black just extends. White extends though, and once White extends, Black actually cannot save these three stones. So if Black plays a move like this, White's able to just push through, and you can see that there's no way for Black to save these three stones. This would be the other move to think of as Black, but again, once White goes here, if Black just extends, White's able to wedge in, and you can see this is actually a snapback. And Black can't really do anything else. That doesn't help. This is a self-Atari, so that doesn't work. This would be Black's best move, but White can still push in like this to threaten the snapback and then play this move. This move, your instinct might be to play this, but this is actually a better move. Because when you play here, you're actually helping Black make eyes. And like, you have more weaknesses as White to worry about. Whereas when you go here, the difference is, sure, Black can go here, but you can extend up. And you can see White's shape here is much stronger. So even though there's this cut here, there's no weakness on the other side. So it's pretty good for... This would be a disaster for Black. So always look for this, instead of just haneing, which would be like kind of the instinct move, always look for this kind of jump, I guess, knight's move. Plus it works very well because White has c6 as well. Now, so locally Black cannot help these stones much. However, if Black can get a move here instead, all these moves would work again. Like if Black pincers and White jumps, now Black would be able to play here. And you can see Black has a base now. So White would need to answer somehow, but then Black can come on top, do a bunch of stuff. So this isn't in and of itself isn't still, this isn't terrible for Black. It's definitely a bad result, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not terrible. In a handicap game, all black needs is not terrible to win. So black comes down, preparing for a pincer. And white has a dilemma, because if I just answer, it's kind of black gets sente again. It's good. It's not, doesn't feel good to have to follow black around. If I jump to try to make this bigger, black can still invade, so it doesn't actually protect the invasion. But if I go here, it still doesn't protect the invasion. So I didn't actually know where to play. So when you don't know where to play in a local area, you just stay in your key. So I just split the top, kind of see what black wants to do. I think a more normal move would be to go here. If black pincers here, I can play at the shape point. Black pincers on this side, then I can extend all the way. So this move probably would have been a little bit better, because this move doesn't get me a base. Plus, now that like each of these are 2 space extensions for black, but once I go here, since this is a 1 space extension, of course black's gonna pincer from this side. In the game, black attaches, which it's an interesting move, I'll say that. I just paused because I was thinking what I was gonna say about it. Like the instinct move would be to go here, and I'm kind of curious why black didn't just do this. Maybe he didn't want to get flattened. Something. White just comes out. Maybe he didn't like something like this. Maybe he felt this was too narrow. But I agree that playing here doesn't feel right for black. So I think this move's just fine for black. Because, again, if black plays from this side somewhere, there's still this weakness. So black wants to prevent this weakness. I think this move's just fine. When you attach, you actually... Whenever you attach, you're going to force the opponent to get stronger. Now, you may also be forcing yourself to get stronger, but in this case, if we look at the top side, white has 1 stone, black has... How many stones? A lot more. 8 more stones on the top. So black really wants to keep an advantage. Black doesn't want to start a local fight between just these 2 stones, because an attachment is a very local fight. Because if you look very locally, like in these 4 boxes right here, 4 intersections, white has an advantage now. It's 2 stones to 1 stone. Of course, that isn't bad, right? It's still doable for black. But when you have a situation like this where black wants to use all his stones, that's when you want to kind of back off. I like the idea of this move, though. I always think attachments are never bad nowadays. Is what I kind of think. And it's definitely a move I might play, like, sometimes too. So can't fault him for this move. White hanes, black double hanes. If you're going to attach, you need to double hane. And then white just connects. White really can't do anything else because there's just too many weaknesses. So just gotta connect. Black still has his weaknesses. Now I was thinking black would go there and I would jump, and then black would do something else. But in the game, black does something strange. Black descends. This is a very greedy move, and the reason why it's greedy is because black is fighting over potentially 1 point for white, whereas, and when you play down, this move is still weak. So because there's still a cut here, these stones are stronger. So in the game, I actually ignore, because it's not so easy for black to surround white now, because of this very obvious weakness, because this stone only has 2 liberties. When you connect and then white goes elsewhere, you can actually play pretty strongly here as black, because there's no weakness here. And again, this move doesn't change the life and death that much, right? Because white can get 1 eye in Gote. So I think this is the wrong thinking. Black should really think about the whole group, not just couple points here. So I dive. And then black attaches. So in the game, I'll show what happens. Like Taris, take, connect, and then dive. And then black covers here. Now this is very similar to this Joseki, where white jumps in immediately, and black blocks, hanes. Something like this. This is very, very similar. But there's one difference, and this difference changes everything. Is that when black blocks, and let's say white cuts, white is not yet alive in the corner. So because white is not yet alive in the corner, sure, black is weak on this side and this side, but white is also weak where he cut and in the corner. So it would be a fight this way. What do I want to say? Even fight. But in the game, when black attaches, cuts, if black tries to do the same fight, it's very similar to this situation here, where because white is alive in the corner, right? White was alive in the corner in the upper left when white cut, and black had two weaknesses to worry about. Because white is alive in the corner in the upper right, white only has one weakness to worry about, whereas black has two. So, and when you have to juggle two weak groups and your opponent only has to juggle one, that's like a huge disadvantage. Which is why black had to go here. So, if you don't know what a Tawari analysis is, all it means is changing the order of moves to see if moves still make sense. Just by changing the order of moves. Now, this Joseki I just showed, right? Black hanes, connects, right? This is normal. This is Joseki. Does it still make sense, though, hane, for black to cut here? Does this move make sense? Allowing white to just capture one stone? Does that make sense? I don't think so, because black could have just haned, right? So black should just either... So that means this attachment's no good, because since we changed the order of moves, this move makes not a lot of sense. Or at least tactically wise, it doesn't make sense. Locally, it makes sense. Black's trying to sacrifice and take the outside, but in terms of tactics and result-wise, it's not a good move. So what should have black done instead? Black should just be happy just going here. Just take your points. White will extend, and then maybe you extend here. And just keep it a normal game. Black could also just come here directly and kind of leave that. So this move is no good. Don't do this attachment. Because white goes here, and black realizes, oh, I can't come down, so black has to come here. But then white can push up, and you can see if white's able to capture this stone, not only is white going to capture this stone, white's going to capture all these points too because of these white stones here. So it's a big loss. It's a big loss. And black locally cannot... It's the same situation here, where black's weak on both sides. Again, doesn't really help for black to extend once more. And yeah, so I agree with black ignoring. I do think black can play a little lighter and jump. You can see if white wedges, black just gives up a little bit, but still reduces white. So I think that black could have done this immediately, because for white to ignore, it means this whole upper group is cut off. So I think this move's actually pretty big, and black should take it ASAP. However, white's not going to play a move there to fix. So maybe black's just going to save it. Oops. Nope. Black takes a corner and then attaches. People really don't want to pincer first. Pincering first is, or kicking first is much better than just dropping down. You're limiting the options of your opponent. Right now, white can only run out into the center. When you just drop down, where white can still extend along the bottom or jump out into the center. So I play a nasty move saying, do you really want to keep the corner? Because now that black has protected the corner, I'm okay with him adding more stones to surround the same amount of points. Attach. Black comes down, which this was actually, he read this pretty well because I was going to actually, like if something like this happened, I was going to extend. So, good reading by black. I will say, this move's very over-concentrated, isn't it? Black's using so many stones to capture one white stone. Black really should try to be a little more proactive. So yeah, this move is, the idea is good. It definitely thwarted my plan, but execution is the issue here. So then I actually jumped because black fixed. So I guess there's one good thing about this. But since I was able to jump, now black can't play this move either. So black pincers, kind of leaving this, which is an interesting idea. But then I leave it too. So I turn my attention back to this situation on the left. And so I showed that just playing a move like this didn't feel so good. Playing this move doesn't fix that weakness, and same with this, it still leaves this weakness behind. So I played a move that probably was not warranted for a tournament game. That was, you know, a rated game, but I attached here. Now, if you've never seen this attachment, I went over this attachment in my first fine art review on the channel. So if you want to check out the video, it's in the playlist of AI reviews. Now, the point of this move is to try to get more moves in Sente. I don't want to re-explain it, but it's trying to get not only this move in Sente, but also this move. So it's trying to over-concentrate black, basically. And I was okay with this because then I could jump out faster. And if black tried to invade, I could surround on a large scale. Whereas if I just do this move, it's not so easy to try to take the left side. So that's why I tried playing this move. Since it's an AI move and I've never seen a pro play it, that means it's not as studied. And my reasonings behind the move are my own ideas. So I could be wrong about it, but that's why I played this move in this case. Now, if black just fixes like this would be pretty good for white. Even white could play this move again. If black fixes by going here, white can Atari and then connect. White would be solidifying the left side. And if black comes down or just extends, then again I can play this and then come out. This was kind of my plan. Then black played a move I had never thought of, actually. So this one caught me by surprise, actually. So if I just Hane, Atari, and then go here, there's this cut here, obviously, so black can peep at it. Then even if he just comes out like this group is very heavy, and now he's threatening to pull these stones out. So that doesn't look so good. If white tries to keep it light, there's still a bunch of weaknesses. Like black could just push through and cut. And again, not so good for white. So that I did not like for white. I had one more sequence. What was it? With a ladder here. Yeah, there is a ladder. Oh, black can just cut directly. Is that the... Black can't cut directly. What was I looking at? Anyways, because of this peep, this doesn't feel so good for white. So in the game, I wedged first and then haned. Even though my shape is awful, it felt like the only thing that I could do. So I extend, trying to make the left side as big as possible, and then black peeps, which looks like a good move, but there's actually a better move, which means this move is not a good move, because black actually can play this move. This is the shape point. Notice, if white extends, black is still threatening a connection here, because this move's an Atari. So white would need to protect, in which case black could protect somehow. So white would need to defend, but then black can just come out. So if white goes somewhere like this, though, black is able to get this move in sente as well. Same thing if white goes here. Now if white hanes on this side, black can double hane. If black double hanes, again, if white just Ataris like this, there's still this weakness. So then black can come out. If white Atari's here, black can extend. You can see if white takes the stone here, black's able to cut on this side, take the 4 stones. So white would need to protect here. Now locally, this ladder, black cannot capture white in the ladder. However, black can play very loose ladder, Atari, Atari, and then Atari here. You can see if white connects, black's actually able to capture these stones now. If white does anything else, extend, black's able to capture here, or even do this one. White can play this one, but actually, and play this, but it still leaves too many weaknesses, and black can actually just come down like this, or even this one. Well, does that one? I think this one's better. Yeah, this one's better, with a weakness still here. So this wouldn't work for white either. So this move is actually the perfect move. There's no way for white to refute this, and I saw it in the game, but I didn't read out everything. So that means I should have gone here. This would have been the honte move. But black peeps instead. And then jumps. Again, trying to force white to take the stones, but I can extend once. Black jumps, and I extend. It's a huge move to get for the liberties of these stones, for reducing the bottom, and for attacking the stones here. Black connects solidly, which I've already shown this move, so I won't go over it again, but you can see this move also protects against a cut here. Whereas when black goes here, you can see white immediately pushes and cuts. Now, I was hesitant about this push and cut because black can actually play a ko here. And if I play this ko and I lose it, say black makes a ko threat, let's assume white will answer that. If I lose this ko, this group is cut off and this group is cut off, so white's entire left side is destroyed. So I can't win this ko, or it's gonna be very hard. Like, I'd have to ignore that. But since the left side was basically already mine, black would get compensation for free elsewhere. I should have just kept extending, I think. Because black can't cover, because now when I cut, it's an Atari here. Now black can actually do this. but since it's not a co anymore, I can just capture the first 4 stones, and black's still not alive here. But this would probably be better than what happened in the game for black. It's better than the co-variation for white that I just showed, and it's better for black than what happened in the game. So this is probably what both players would want. If black just covers, though, you can see now black actually can't connect now. So that wouldn't work. But I just push directly. What in the game, black actually takes here, which I don't understand this move at all. Because white just cuts. And then black can't live locally and white's all connected. So I was pretty happy with this result. I'm not sure what Devin was thinking with this. Yeah. It's also important to note that if white doesn't play this co, black can connect on the first line with a monkey jump connection. Which means these stones here are cut off and very heavy. Very, very heavy. So, yeah, this move definitely would have... The difference between this move and this move is like game changing. And black would like to go here, but if white just jumps and black can't do much with these stones, not only are these stones heavy and weak, but these stones just die. So I think black plays a very good move here by jumping. So I play at the snapback point. And black extends, Hane, and then I actually take this spot. The reason why I do is because it's like 5 points in Sente for black, which is a lot. Like if black connects now, and I ignore, black can play this move, which is threatening a second eye, but then black can Hane, and you can see this would be a ko, a very big ko. Actually, it's not even ko. Black can just connect. It's ko on this side though. Yes. This is like an impossible ko for white to win because it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 step ko. So this move is Sente for black, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but not only does it fix his black on the upper side, which gets him a lot of points, but it gets me a lot of points too to take. So that's why in the game I took that as soon as possible. So right now I take it. Bam. You can see the point-wise, it's a big difference actually. Black jumps. I like this move. Play a large knight's move. Again, very much inspired by the last fine art game that I reviewed. This sort of shape came up in that game as well. And then black plays here, which this move is okay. I think it's the right direction because black's trying to set up a double attack. But if white just gives up those stones, all black is getting is 4th line territory, which is not super exciting. So I think black should be a little more... is able to ask for a little bit more because white is pretty surrounded here, and you can see black's able to actually get a lot of points here potentially as opposed to just 3rd line territory. So I would have liked a move like this because if white jumps, then black would be like, yes, this is what I want. I want a double attack. Now white has invested more stones on the right side. So again, right idea, wrong execution. Because I actually attach, kind of ask what black wants to do. He, again, reduce the amount of forcing moves you give your opponent. Peep, and then jump. And you can see white's shape here is very beautiful here and elegant. And then black plays a cap. Now, I agree that black needs to cap, but the issue with the cap is that this is kind of black going all in. Because since white has all these stones up here, it's going to be hard for black to make points in this area. Like, black could have, like, peeped and then just taken his cash on the... I don't know, but just take the cash on the right side. But by going here, black's saying, I'm going to get enough compensation to win the game, or I don't know, like, right? This move doesn't get a lot of points. Is the issue. So I think it's good fighting spirit, but maybe a little too late because white just jumps, and it looks pretty hard to attack white. So this is actually, I remember this in the game. Black took a long time on his next move, or at least comparatively to other moves. And which let me able to, because I played this move almost instinctively, because it's like, oh, where else would I play? Right, it helped me connect to these stones, but there's actually a big weakness here. There's two weaknesses black can look at. Black can look at this attachment. This is the weakness of a dog face, right in the middle. And notice if white goes this way, black's able to extend here and be able to kind of attack white on a large scale, actually. This is kind of what black wanted. Take out all of white's eyes and then separate. So that's kind of an issue for white. Yeah. White blocks on this side. If black just cuts, white's able to capture. But black doesn't need to cut, black can extend up. And you can see if white connects here, black can now cut through this way. Which, this would be a huge gain on the right side. White blocks here, black's able to cut, and something like this might happen. This is all forcing. If black connects here, white hanes. And then even if black goes here, you can see black gained something here, and white hasn't really gained much. Now black could try to go all in, but I don't think it would be a good idea. Because there's a lot of weaknesses here. So this, I wouldn't advise this. I would just advise black to just connect here. Let white connect, and then take the stones here. This looks decent for black. Again, as long as you attack for profit. Now there's another thing black can actually do here, which is this move. Which is threatening to cut off the dog face. Now white just blocks, black's actually able to double hane here, or hane. If white cuts, black's able to descend. If white takes, black can then capture, which would cut off this stone here, which again would be a large gain on the bottom. If white tries to extend, black can actually connect now, and you can see there's Miai. If white saves there, black can capture these stones. Where if white connects, black can Atari here and save these stones. So that wouldn't be good. White double hanes, black can Atari, and then even just connect, and very similarly, black can capture the bottom, which this would be a huge gain. So those are two things black should have done. In the game though, black plays here and goes here. So black lost one option. Black lost the ability to do this one. And you should know this is a bad exchange, because that's not how you cut a knight's move, right? We have a knight's move connection here. Pushing through like this is not how you cut a knight's move. So bad exchange for black. But then black goes here, and I'm like, oh, he's going to do it. He's going to do, because this still works. He can still do the into this. But in the game, black cuts, and I was like, okay. Let off the hook just a little bit. Just a little bit. So I actually come this way, because I figured this is bigger than the center. Because even though black can push through, I can still Atari and make pretty good, make pretty good shape here. And I think black sees this, so when I come up, he attaches. Trying anything now. Don't like this move at all. It just forces white to connect. Now this push you did, like black, this shape is so cuttable in so many ways, but all black did with these moves is connect white. Black peeps, and there's actually no way for black to cut off these white stones now. Black goes this way and cuts. White can go here. And you can see black needs to go here, but white's able to connect that way. If black peeps, white can just come down like this. Goes this way, you can see white's actually able to cut off the stones and capture here. Go this way, same thing. You come down, white can still cut, threatening to capture this stone, so black will need to fix, and then white can come down. Just a lot of weaknesses, lots of weaknesses. So white's actually connected here. Black Ataris, peeps, comes here. White's able to still connect though, because after this push, black needs to come back and fix, so black does that. Black fixes first, so then I need a fix. And then black surrounds here. He's still trying to attack this, but I was feeling pretty confident that I was already alive, to be honest. So just push out, and then he extends, but he should have done that. He should have done that move first, like right now. If he was planning on going here, he should play this now, because white might answer differently. You play here first, you'll see that when black goes here now, I actually just extend here. Because if black captures, then I can just take the stones. So black goes here, and then I jump, and he attaches, and then I take. So this is a little slack. I could have... So if I go here, this would be bad. When he cuts, this is what he wants. Because I need to come back to take the stones off. And so he could cover, and yeah, this wouldn't be so good for white. If I extend this way, black's able to come up, and then I have two weaknesses. If I take here, black's able to push through. Does this work for black? No, I guess it doesn't. Maybe it's not so bad. Basically, though, the point I'm trying to make, though, is white can just go on this side, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If black cuts, white can extend here. And now it's me. If black takes this spot, white can take this stone and connect. If black takes this spot, white can throw in and connect as well. Although, that doesn't work, does it? Because Atari into this move. Okay. So maybe my reading was correct. Or maybe... yeah. Guess I misread that. And this move doesn't work. Yeah, I guess not. Okay. So maybe this move is just better. Yeah. Okay. So it did work, but for the wrong reasons. I was like, okay, this move doesn't work during the game. This move might work. Like, this is me during the game. I was thinking, this move might work during the game, but do I really want to throw the game into turmoil when I didn't have to? So I just took the stones off. After black attached, I went here. In the game, black goes here, or black covers. I cut and then goes here, but white's still able to push and cut after that. There's no way for black to save these stones. So I don't understand this move. The only move that works for black is to go here. If white extends, the key is black gets this move, which is Sente, which means black can connect. So in all cases, that's the move black looks for. Like in this case, boom, to push. But that doesn't work, does it? Huh? Maybe not. Maybe nothing. You know, I could have sworn I reviewed this game before I did this live commentary, but or not live commentary, but a review of the game. But yeah, I guess I was missing some pretty obvious moves. I guess. Yeah, that just doesn't work for. Oh no, this does work for black. Right? No, black doesn't have the ladder. Yeah. Black can't net, and these stones go. Okay. Yeah. So maybe this move isn't as... Maybe there's just no move here that works. Oh, maybe just connecting, actually. Yeah, just connecting works. Hane? No, it still doesn't work. This situation was more interesting than I thought. In any case, after black goes here, I can still cut these stones off. But I can play this move first, which is, of course, threatening these stones, but also threatening to cut off the 3 stones. So black attaches, which is a good move, and I just leave it, because I can now cut to connect. I can cut these off to connect. So I play this move first, which is a huge move. Like, if black was able to come down like this, oh, the amount of points black gets on the right side is humongous. So I very much wanted this move, so I'm happy I got it. At this point, black is slowly falling behind because he goes there, but I'm able to connect. Attaches, trying to do stuff here. Also, after I save this stone here, by the way, the life and death of this group is not settled. So black tries to come out, and he succeeds somewhat, but I'm able to just connect by going here. You can see, even though black can fix, I can Hane and connect. Black needs to come back and connect. I go here, which looks like a slow move, but I was trying to prevent black from clamping and then extending this way, which I thought was a pretty big move. And since I can see black's trying to build the center, I figured it's Sente, most likely, and it helps give me a few more points. So black answers. I really like this move, actually. It looks like the perfect spot in that area. I extend, again, because the life and death here is not settled. But black Ataris, and I push once, and then play the Ko. And for the rest of the game, this Ko is basically what we fight over, which is pretty insane. We have a lot of Ko threats, it turns out. Ko threat, I can capture those stones. Ko threat, I can pull the stone out. Ko threat. So I'll just go through the stones, the Ko threats really quickly. Now, with this move, though, this move is better because it threatens the same thing. It's threatening a cut. However, if white protects the cut by going here, and black takes the Ko and I make a Ko threat, I don't know. And then take it back. Black gets another Ko threat this way. So black can get 2 Ko threats for the price of 1. When you just go here, now that's all the Ko threats you get. So if white tries to reduce the amount of Ko threats black gets, this move is better point-wise. Right? Like, I'd rather have a stone at M2 than at M3 in terms of points. So just like there's a proverb that says there are more than one ways to Atari, there's more than one ways to peep as well in most situations. So this move is a better Ko threat. Connect, Atari, push, plays here. And then I play a very annoying move for black, because why is this move annoying? Because depending on how black answers, if black wants as many points as possible, which he does by cutting there, it gives me so much more Ko threats. Whereas if black plays a little softer by like going here, it gives me less Ko threats, but black loses points. So it's a trade. There's a trade-off here. In the game, black decided to have more points, so he cut, but that gives me so many more Ko threats, and you'll see that. Threaten to cut these off, and then I can extend down. You can see if black ignores, white's able to cut here, and then squeeze, and then capture the stones. So black needs to answer. Take. cuts here. And then I play here, even though same situation as black on the bottom. It gives black another co-threat, but it's better for white point-wise. But since black gave me so many co-threats on the bottom, I was okay with that. If I can cut now, take Atari. That's his extra co-threat he can get. Connect. Cut. Now this is important. Now most people would just connect it and think, oh, there's no difference. However, if I just Atari, black can actually counter Atari. And Atari again. And then connect. And you can see black can actually cut off these 3 stones. So it's actually very important to come down first, or to make the bamboo joint first. Now if black connects and I connect, now I'm all connected. So there's no issue now. However, black does something strange and goes here. So I can only imagine this was a misread, because I believe he was in Byoyomi at this point, but he just loses more points on the top. N1 is a cheeky move. It loses me co-threats actually. But after the gain on the top, I felt I didn't need to win the ko anymore. Because this is a huge gain point-wise. This is a co-threat, by the way, because if black ignores, white can throw in and then squeeze like this. Like this. So it is a co-threat. It does the same thing as this one, but gets me like 1 more point or something like that. But I was just being cheeky, I guess. I don't know. And I could have gotten more co-threats by throwing in first, because then I have 1 co-threat, 2 co-threats, 3 co-threats, 4 co-threats, and then even 1 more. Do I get 1 more? Yeah, I do. Doesn't matter how black answers, but I'll get 1 more. So if I could get 5 co-threats, it's actually more than I thought I could. So maybe I should have thrown in, but it loses me points, of course. So just played there. Yeah, didn't feel like I needed to win this go. Atari connects, extend up, and then came down, connects. Now I play here. This is kind of what this move at J10 was setting up, was this shape point here. And black answers. I guess black thought that just connecting here wasn't enough, which again I agree with, so can't fault him for thinking that. But by answering, you give white so many more co-threats. Black answers, white covers, so I come down, or black covers, so I come down, take, play down, of course, and black kind of gives up a couple points. I can understand. Take, black pushes down, and then comes down again, which I don't understand this move, because this black must think he can't win the ko, but black has like more co-threats on the upper left. He has a co-threat here. Yeah, black has at least 3 co-threats. I'm not sure if white has 3, honestly. Yeah, I don't know why black switched what he was doing, because white can clamp. White doesn't need to just take, which would be peaceful. Like who wants peaceful, right? White can clamp, which is much more annoying for black, because when black takes, white can actually come down like this, or extend like this. If black connects here, then white can still go here, and would threaten the life of the whole group. So in the game, black takes, of course, but then white can cover. At this point, game slowly falling out of black's hands. Black hanes, but I didn't think it was sente, so I play here, which is threatening this throw-in. And connect. And black needs to go here. Any other move, white's able to connect. Like if black goes there, white can Atari. If black goes here, I guess white can go here. And then double Atari this way. So this is the only move for black to connect. However, there's a lot of Aji. So I cut. Now in the game, black should just connect. If this happens though, what was the move? This one? Push first? Maybe push first. And then do this. Like this. Like, this is the best white can do. Black will need to spend 2 more moves to capture these. And yeah, so that would be the best white can do. It's a good reduction though. In the game though, where does black go? Black connects here, which looks like a decent move, but actually, oh, that's not. Oh yeah, black goes here. Yeah, this looks like a decent move, but it actually is, because white can still extend, but then white can Atari here. And the issue, of course, is if black connects, white's able to push, throw in, has to capture, Atari again, Atari, and then this is actually a snapback. Black cannot capture. So that would be disastrous for black. So black just gives up, says, okay, it's yours now. Then white can push, still threatening the same sort of deal. Black takes, I connect. But then black pushes, and this is obviously a misread and cuts because white can cut, which is an Atari, which means white can capture here. So black's losing more and more points. He's in Byoyomi. I think he's in his final 2 or his final 1, so yeah. Tries cutting. Doesn't work though because white can Atari here. And black can't capture or can't save the stone. So black push, extends, covers, and then connects. So black gets that endgame at least. Black Ataris. I connect here. And you'll see that black still can't connect because white can throw in. And you can see black can't capture. So that's why I can go here. Black fills in here to try to prevent that, but actually that's gote because white can go elsewhere, which I go here, because if black tries to connect the stone, which locally means white would be dead here, white can actually Atari this. And you can see if black connects, because of the stone at S8, be a connect and die. So because of that, I'm able to ignore, and at this point, Devin resigned. So takeaways for the game, I felt some of black's decision making was really good. Some of them, like when to ignore, when to back off, when to fight. But then I think he just kind of, his game plans kept changing, and it felt like it didn't quite know what black wanted. And I think just over time, the skill gap became more apparent, and white was able to just whittle away. Like there wasn't like a huge blow to black ever. It was just kind of little mistakes add up over time. But yeah, that was my first round game. So I started the first round with a victory. I want to say thank you, Devin, for the game. It was a very fun game. And yeah, stay tuned. Next video should be for my second round game. So look forward to that. If you have any comments or questions about the game, please let me know. And I will see you all in the next video.